Figure it out!
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series and is intended to aid the Dreamcast and gaming community.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. First off, let me address a bit sunburned at the moment. I was out shooting a commercial. I was acting in a commercial for a friend of mine, and yeah, I should have worn sunscreen. So sorry for that. How do you guys think the beard's coming along? You like it? Don't like it? Whatever. Give me some feedback on that, I guess. And before you ask, the commercial is nothing exciting. It's not going to air on TV or anything. It's just something I did for a friend of mine. But that out of the way, let's start talking about these packages. I showed these to you guys both briefly. If you watch Playload, I mentioned these at the end of it, and I said I would be doing a video, and here it is. These are a long time coming. I've been waiting to open these for quite some time, and of course to make a new Keep Dreaming episode, because I like doing this show, but I don't get a whole lot of opportunity to make new episodes. And this one, totally worth doing, and it's also kind of like combining it as an unboxing episode. So I actually got this package in the mail almost at the beginning of May, and I've just been holding on to it, haven't unboxed it, and this one just arrived not too long ago, a few days ago. And as you can see, it looks like it went through a war, okay? So I hope everything's okay. What these are new Sega Dreamcast games. So, yeah, why don't I go ahead and open them up, and then we'll talk more about them, and I'll show you them and everything. I'm a little concerned about this one, obviously, because the box is heavily damaged, and there have been a lot of reports of people saying that their game arrived damaged. So, cross your fingers, and let's hope when I open this there's nothing wrong with it. We'll do that one second. First up is going to be this one. Now this one came from Hucast, which is a company in Germany. And this, I'll just open it first. Go ahead and open that right there. Inside we have a few things. Just toss that aside. We have a sticker for Ghost Blade, which is a new game that you can pre-order now actually for the Dreamcast, and that's really cool that they're still making more games. A sticker of DUX, which gives you a clue as to what it is, and wow, they didn't have to do that. Okay, so they gave me 3 copies of the game. Wasn't expecting that. Let me explain here. DUX is a game that came out for the Dreamcast a little while ago, or a couple years ago I should say. And this company, Hucast, that was making that's making new games like Ghostblade, they decided to make an updated version of DUX with, I believe it has new music and new features and stuff, and they did some bug fixes and stuff. And they were cool enough that if you already owned the game, you could just take a photo of your copy of the game with like some proof of the date, and send them an email and give them that, and then they would mail you one of these for free. I did that. I didn't know they were going to send me 3 copies. I think the guy who I talked to, his name is Renee. He's actually, yeah, it says it, Renee Hellwig. I think he's the guy who's primarily responsible for programming a lot of these. He said he actually had seen my videos, and he liked them, and I had both versions of the game, and so he was going to give me this, which is a version of the game that you can just buy with a nice case and everything. He did not mention including 2 extra copies of just the disc. That's really awesome of him. I don't know if you're watching, dude. I don't know why you did that, but thank you. That's really, really cool of you. You didn't have to do that. Well, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Let's see if, and then we'll take a look on the inside of this thing. Open that real quick. You know what's funny is I took so long to open this thing that they've actually, I believe that unfortunately that emailing program is actually over. They actually ran out of copies and they're no longer doing that, which I'm sorry. If Sturmwind, if this, okay, now you know what this is, but if this had arrived earlier, I would have told you all about this at one point and you would have all known. But I assume most of you out there who already had DUX knew about this. Now, you can still buy this game, and in fact, they've decided to go ahead and release what they call a limited edition version of this, which has the game plus a music CD, and I've already ordered that because, you know, I have to have every version of this thing. So you can still go ahead and get that, and I'll do an unboxing of that when I get that. But in the meantime, that's the front of the case, it's the back. I'll do close-ups in a bit. Open that up, and inside we have the disc, which are very nice pressed discs. Okay, it's no CDR crap here. And then it comes with a manual, which is becoming a rarity these days. Up front, it's a small manual, but it is a manual. That's the inside. Seems to have just controls and credits, and on the front it has the artwork, and on the back it says hucast.com. So that would be awesome to fit in nicely with my collection, and I'm really happy to have that. And again, I seriously had no idea they were going to give me 2 extra disc copies. I don't know why they did that, but thank you if you guys are watching. That was really, really cool of you. And plus stickers, and I'm not sure, I think this is just a promotional piece for Ghostblade, but you should go order Ghostblade if you haven't done that already. And you can go get DUX 1.0 if you want. Now on to the other one. Now this game, see DUX 1.5, the thing about that game is it kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody really knew they were working on that. They just kind of said, oh hey, check it out. Redux is coming, which is the sequel to DUX. And that's when they announced they were doing DUX 1.5, but they made it sound like it was just going to be a bonus thing that came with Redux. And then now, obviously, they've decided to release it independently. So that's cool that more people can get access to the game. But, yeah, that one just came out of nowhere. But this one has been in development for quite some time. So why don't I just go ahead and open it, and we'll talk a bit about it. I really hope that it's not damaged. At this point, that's all I'm hoping for here. Let's see, I'll try cutting it there. Because this box is not in nice shape. Okay. First we have that. We'll get to that in a second. Then inside we have this. Now, I'll look at this first. This is a little plushy thing that came with Sturmwind. And here we have, this up. Okay. The game itself. Excellent. Alright, everybody see that? Taking it out of the plastic wrap there. Fantastic. Oh, I can't tell you how happy I am to have this, and of course, also DUX 1.5 now in my collection. Now, since I already talked about DUX 1.5, I'll talk about Sturmwind. I've mentioned this in a previous video where I was talking a lot about all the independent games that are out there. Sturmwind has been in development, I believe they started taking pre-orders in like 2010, and I was like one of the first people that pre-ordered that game. I had to have it right away, because I fund all the Dreamcast games, because I just love that system, and I love making sure that new games come out for it. And so I ordered this special edition, the plush. This was a later addition to the collector's set. This does not come standard with the limited edition, which I think is actually sold out now anyway. They decided to make this right towards the end, and you could add this to your order, and I did. And as it turns out, that may have been a good idea, because it's possible. Well, let's open this up before I get ahead of myself. Inside just opens up like that. Okay, and it comes with that's a really nice little foam insert, and it comes with this little ship right here, which is pretty cool. I don't know exactly what this is made out of. It's possible this was yielded by a 3D printer or something. It smells funky. I don't know. It smells chemically. I don't know how else to describe that. I'll put that back in there, I guess. But I'll figure that out later. In addition to that, we also have other little things that it comes with, which I'm kind of sad to open up, honestly. It comes with a music CD, which I'll show you. I'll open this up in a minute and show you it up close. And yeah, this just has all the music on there. It's 17 tracks, Sturmwind, the final score. And then it comes with a little book called Threats of the Universe. I got it for Sturmwind pilots. I guess this is some sort of strategy guide for the game, which that's kind of neat. I didn't know that they did that. I've actually tried to not watch anybody else's like unboxings or anything, because I just didn't know what to expect. And here's the game itself, which you know what, I'm going to open that up right now. Now, the limited edition, like I said, is sold out, which is kind of unfortunate, but at least that means it's sold well. However, you can still get the regular edition, although I don't know if you can get that from Red Spot Games' website anymore. I think you have to get that from like Play Asia. There we go, open that up. Very nice looking disc. The manual, it looks a lot like a combination between Japanese packaging, Japanese Dreamcast packaging, and European Dreamcast packaging with the blue label there. Now, that may be a coincidence, but then again, they are German, so it would make sense that it should look European. That's the interesting thing about the independent Dreamcast scene these days. They all seem to be coming out of Germany. Okay, DUX 1.5 made in Germany, Sturmwind made in Germany. Most of them are made in Germany now, which is pretty cool. At least somebody, some country is cool enough to keep making games. This is, I'm told, obviously I haven't played it yet, but I'm told that this is an incredibly impressive independent Dreamcast game. Not to take away from DUX 1.5 at all, of course, but I'm told that this is fantastic. It has 16 levels, it's got FMV sequences, 3 selectable weapons, difficulty levels, tons and tons of enemies, and it actually supports the SD card adapter, like, in some capacity. Supports the ROM pack, VGA, VMU, arcade stick, of course the original controller, although I think this game supports most of those things, although I doubt it supports the SD card reader in any specific way. I should have brought this up earlier. Red Spot Games, they're the guys who, obviously they have released Sturmwind, but they also released Rush Rush Rally Racing. They released Last Hope originally, which was actually made by, I believe, also made by Rene, the guy who made this, and then, I think... It's hard to remember everybody's name involved in these things, but I think the guys who made this went on to make DUX. And of course, Red Spot Games also released anyway, Wind and Water Puzzle Battles, which is a highly underrated game. But yeah, anyway, my point is, go out and buy these things. DUX 1.5 you can definitely still get. Sturmwind you can probably still get the regular edition. But if you want to just see everything up close here, I'll give you a quick look here. This is the is it called a Kraken? I don't know if it's actually the Kraken, but it has some sort of name. What is it called? I don't know. That's in German. I can't read that. But yeah, that's the little plushy thing, which is definitely cool. This is the little 3D ship thing, which feels incredibly fragile, so I'll take good care of that. The manual guide thing, the music CD, which, you know what, I'm going to open that up real quick if you just give me a second here, and then I'll show you some of this other stuff. Sorry. Alright, let's see. And, okay. That's the front of the music CD, that's the back, and we'll take a look at the inside here. Ooh, that's a very nice looking music CD. 505, the final score, Sturmwind. Just a very nice pressed disc, and it's really cool to have this in the collection. This is the front, oh well, not the front, this is the front, but inside, wow, is that magnetized? That's magnetized. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's impressive that they would magnetize that. Inside, obviously, that's where everything goes, and then on the back, this is printed right on. Looks very, very nice. I'm very happy to have this. Comes with some sort of little Play Asia, actually, advertisement, which usually I would throw these away, but it's got Ryo Hazuki's picture on it. That automatically makes it awesome and means it has to stay here forever. And then it's just got a WiiWare advertisement for Rush Rush Rally Racing. Isn't the Wii online service supposed to shut down next month? Or sometime this month, June 2013? I thought they were shutting that down. Maybe the Wii U. I don't know.
Here we are. We're starting off with DUX 1.5 just because I opened that one first. As you can see, of course, they're made by HuCast. I think they got their name from the fact that they pretty much seem to only support the Dreamcast cast and, you know, all that. And it has like a little red triangle thing, which I think is supposed to look like the Dreamcast's orange triangle. But yeah, whatever. I don't know that for sure. So you saw the intro menu there very briefly. I just kind of skipped right over it. But there's also an options menu, and it doesn't have a whole lot to it. It's just got like controller configuration and like sound options, like if you want the music on or off or whatever. So I just kind of skipped over that. It's pretty simple. So all right, there you go. You can see some gameplay. Now, yeah, this is probably best compared to DUX 1.0, which I'm obviously not going to be doing. But yeah, it's as I mentioned before, this is not a new game. I mean, this is just an updated version of DUX. It has, I believe, the primary difference is actually just that it's a lot easier. That was like a universal complaint, I guess, with the first version of the game, was that it was just way too hard. Now, personally, I never really noticed that, but it's not because like I'm amazing at the game and I can take on any challenge. It's actually because I'm absolutely just terrible at shmups. Like, I'm just awful at them, and so it was impossible to me, and that's what I assumed was just because I sucked. I didn't think it was because the game's actually really hard. So they fixed that in this game and made it a lot easier for people. They also, I believe, did some other generic bug fixes, although they're probably like a lot of cosmetic art fixes, things like that. And I believe they added more music and possibly another level, though I'm actually not totally sure about that. I think that's why they gave it away for free as opposed to making you buy it. You know, if you already owned the game, all you had to do is prove it, and they would send you a free disc of it. Now, I had both the regular version and limited edition of DUX, so they were cool enough to give me like the cased version, the version with the manual and all that, which they didn't have to do that. But they did anyway. And then, of course, they gave me those 2 extra discs, which I had no idea they were going to do that. That was just really, really neat of them to do that. So thank you again, guys, if you're out there and you're watching. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get this game now. I mean, fortunately, this one is not too hard to find because you can buy it if you don't already own DUX. And if you don't already own DUX, this is the version to get because it's just more complete. An updated version of a shmup, an independent Dreamcast game this is not the first time this has happened, actually, though. Last Hope did this with Last Hope Pink Bullets. But in this case, I think they did it mostly because they're pushing Redux, which will be the first sequel to an independent Dreamcast game. I can't think of any others that did that, and yeah, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say no, that's never happened before. So yeah, kudos to them for preparing for Redux like that. And yeah, I suck. I told you, I'm terrible at shmups, and I couldn't even beat the first level. Now, I'm sure I could if I continued to play it and tried to get good at it, but yeah. Whatever, I suck at shmups, I'm sorry. So thank you again to HughCast for giving me these extra copies and for doing this at all in the first place. That's just really cool of you guys. And go check out their Facebook page and make sure you stay up to date and get all the information. Now, moving over to Sturmwind, I'm going to let you guys see the intro.
Es ist soweit. Es muss hier enden. Deine stählernen Schwingen sind nun unsere letzte Hoffnung. Ein gigantischer Sturm zieht auf. Krieg und Zerstörung verschlingen unsere Welt. Und obwohl uns Galaxien trennen, sind wir in Gedanken bei dir. Sturmwind. Diese Nachricht geht an alle Verbliebenen. Wir warten.
Well, wasn't that neat? So, okay, here's the menu, and it's pretty cool looking. I'm going to go to options, and I'm just going to go ahead and switch that over to easy because I suck at shmups, as I have mentioned before. So yeah, then I'll just go ahead and start the game here. And it is occurring to me now, I don't think at any point in this video did I ever mention that both of these games were in fact shmups. I guess that's just because it's kind of obvious at this point. Almost all Dreamcast independent games are shmups. Which, I like shmups, I just wish I didn't suck at them. And, yeah, that would be nice, because then I could really, really get into all these releases. And unfortunately, I just kind of have to play them, like, very poorly and just go, yay, I played! Because I'm just not any good at them, which is too bad. Now let's talk a little bit about that intro, though. Okay, so that intro was really impressive from a technical standpoint for a independent Dreamcast game, especially one that I believe was entirely programmed by one guy over the course of a few years. So, his guy's name is Durnick, and kudos to him for being able to pull this off. That's really, really impressive. So the intro, you may have noticed a few things. First of all, it starts out in German, and I'm a little surprised that they didn't have English subtitles over that. And I don't want to sound like a typical American who just complains about not having English everywhere, but to be fair, most of it, I mean, the menu is in English. I'm just surprised there's no subtitles there. So if any Germans are watching, or anyone who speaks German, could you please translate that opening part for me? I'm just curious what they say. But you may have also noticed that the intro was in widescreen, which is a little bit surprising. But the gameplay itself, as you can see here, is not. Now, I'm not really sure what the reason for this is, but there is some technical explanation that Durinik gave about how that was. I don't know. Maybe it was just because it was animated versus actual gameplay. I really don't know. But yeah, so the game supports widescreen partially. I mentioned before that it supports the SD card adapter, although I don't know exactly in what way it does. So if anybody knows that, I'm curious. I'd love to know what it is. Maybe you can save directly to an SD card. I don't know. But it's cool nonetheless. Maybe that's a way to update the game later, or possibly add new features. I have no idea what they're planning, if they're planning anything, but it's cool that somebody made a game with that in mind. Now, the game itself, let's take a look here. Well, you can see it's incredibly good looking for a Dreamcast independent game. This is something I would have believed had come out, during the Dreamcast's original run. I mean, just look at it. It's very well done from a graphical and technical standpoint. And when you factor in that it was made by one guy as an independent release, or at least I assume it's Durinik is just one guy and not like the name of just the dude's company or something, then you just go, wow, Now, people are inevitably going to ask, because DUX 1.5 was also shown in this video, which one would I pick, or what do I prefer, or what's better, etc. That's kind of up to you. See, now I just suck at shmups, so with that in mind, I prefer Sturmwind, and the only reason I can say that, really, is because DUX 1.5, its map is a tad restrictive. There's a lot of obstacles that get in your way, and that makes it constrained, or, it kind of gives it a constrained feel, so it's kind of hard to play at times, but that's because I suck at it. Whereas Sturmwind has a much more open and freeing environment, so it's easier to hide, really, from, like, blasts, which is really the only way I can ever make any progress in these games. So I guess if you're up for more of a challenge, and you're, good at shmups, DUX 1.5 would be the way to go, and if you're not, then this might be the way to go. Although, personally, I'd recommend getting both if you can, because they're both awesome games, and they both should be supported. Now, another thing, this was recorded... well, I'm playing through VGA to HDMI, and then I record the HDMI footage, so that's why it looks so damn good. But that's just part of it, I mean, obviously you have to give far greater credit to the programmers who made these games, and as you can see here, this one in particular is Sturmwind. I mean, is just so damn good looking. So I highly recommend getting both of them if you can. And look at it, I actually beat that level, and again, that's because I was able to hide, because I suck at shmups. So, that's that. Go out and get the games, guys. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you so desire. However, we'd really appreciate it if you check out our other videos that are of a higher production caliber. Thank you.